That is Guhyam, Guhyatamam. That is Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, right? It's the most confidential knowledge and most secret of all knowledge. And Krishna has decided to tell it to Arjuna because Arjuna is kind, soft-hearted, is friend, a devotee, and non-envious. So these are some of the reasons why Krishna selected Arjuna to give this signs. And now he goes on explaining about Bhakti, right? So we saw few slokas like how it got destroyed in the middle. No, Raja Vidya, Raja Bhyam, Pavitram, Idamuttamam, Pratiksha, Vakamam, Karmyam, Susugam Kartavayam. And Krishna says it's very easy to perform this bhakti. It's very easy to perform. And then also he says that, okay, yeah. So it's very easy to perform and anybody can do it. Even a child can take part in this form of bhakti. That is because it's easily done. Okay, so that's what we stopped. We stopped by saying that, yeah, 9.19. We stopped there. So we'll continue with 20. Okay, and Krishna is going to give the most secret of all this knowledge in the coming slokas. And also 9.34 is the most important sloka of this whole chapter, where Krishna says, Manmana bhav mat bhakto matyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasyiktaivam atmana matparayana. So he says that we have to think about Krishna and always chant his holy name and mat bhakta, become his devotee and pay obeisances, and definitely we go back to Krishna. So 20, we have to start with 20 slides. So 20 to 25, I'll just go through because somehow the slides is missing. So he says, Traividyamam somafa bhuda papam yajne rishtva sagatim pratatyante te punyamasade surendra lokam ashanti divyanti videva bhogan. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Zoma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified or sinful reaction, they take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra where they enjoy good delights. So some of them, everyone, even demigod worshippers are worshipping Krishna indirectly and they go to their planets, right? So if they drink Somaras and they live in heavenly planets, what is the negative part in that? So much of facilities in heavenly planets, right? But is there any negative thing in heavenly planets or all good? Yes, Rajlakshmi Mataji.
After exhaustion of the punya, they have to come again in the.
Yes, Shine Punya Martilagam Vishanti. So once the Punya is over, they have to come back. Yes, Devika Mataji, anything else?
They cannot do service, no, Mataji, to the Lord.
Yeah, they cannot do service. So, yes, Avik Prabhu, what do you think they cannot do service?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, they cannot do service because there are many facilities to enjoy. Bhog, Aishwarya, everything is there. So it is very difficult for them to execute pure devotional service.
Yes.
And
so,
after completing, as Mataji told, after completing all the pious activities, they again have to come back to this earthly planet and they are subject to birth, death, old age, disease also.
Yes. So as Mataji said, yes, they because there also there is so much of facilities that Somaras, Apsaras, dancing Gandharvas, so much of facilities and opulences that they forget to do devotional service. Krishna Buliya Jeev Bhogavanja Kare Pashatiya Mayatare Japatiya Tare. So Krishna Buliya Jeev Bhogavanja, they forget Krishna and then they do sense gratification. So that happens. And once the punya is over, definitely coming back. So here, the 20th sloka, Krishna says that even though demigod worshippers, they're also worshipping me indirectly. But then they go to their planet and then what happens? They come back. Ritam bhuktva swargalogam vishalam kshine punye martyalogam vishanti evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna gata gatam kama kama labanti kshine punye martyalogam vishanti. So when they have thus enjoyed the vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So as you said, yes, there is repeated birth and death, and they come back like your visa. Your visa gets over expired, then you have to come out of that country. So similarly, your punya is over, you have to come back. So what is the example Prabhupada gives about coming back to this mortal world from the heavenly planet? Is Kusumlata Mataji? You can unmute. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I wanted to ask a question. What is Soma juice?
Oh, Somaras. Somaras is nothing but it's actually a nectar which the demigods and everyone drink. And it is said that once they drink that, they don't have this old age and disease. And it's of so much of nectar, it's like Amrita, that they enjoy in the heavenly planets. So it's actually seen in heavenly planets and it's just for sense gratification, it is said. But devotees don't want to drink Somaras, they want to drink Bhakti Rasa. That's what it says.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Neetu Mataji, you got it right. So what is the example Prabhupada mentions in the purport? Can you say?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, like if one promotes you to the higher planets, they have to come down. Similarly, like various wheels goes up and down.
Yes. So the Ferris wheel, right? The Prabhupada gives an example of the Ferris wheel. Prabhupada says, see, like in a Ferris wheel, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it comes down. Similarly, when you go to heavenly planets, you go up, but it's for a short time. In Ferry wheel, you can't sit there for a long time because when people get down from down, you go up and then again people get it and then again it's turned. So it's like a ferry wheel. Prabhupada says you go to heavenly planets up and then again you fall down. Again up, again fall down. That's not the right type of moksha or liberation. So here he says that, okay, like a ferry's wheel, going up and coming down. So instead of going to heavenly planets, we're supposed to get elevated to spiritual planet where there is no more coming back. Yet gatvana nivartante. Ananyashintayendo mam yejano paryapasade tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. It's a very, very important sloka. And this is very important. A lot of the insurance company also have this Yoga Kshema Vahamya. They've got it from Bhagavad Gita. Who takes care of everything? It's Krishna. So Krishna says, those who worship Krishna with exclusive devotion and meditating on the transcending form of Krishna, to them, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Yoga Kshema Vahamya. Krishna maintains. Like Sudama, we know that story. So Krishna will maintain. Krishna maintains thousands of African elephants in the African forest, or all the animals in the forest for that sake. Krishna, who is feeding them? Krishna is maintaining eko bhagnamya viditadikaman. So he says, undoubtedly, Krishna will definitely take care of the devotees. Everyone, not only devotees, everyone Krishna protects. So it's a story of Arjunacharya. Anybody knows? Yeah, like Kubja, Krishna took care of Kubja. So many stories. Vidura's wife. So Arjunacharya, anybody knows? No? Okay. So he keeps reading Bhagavad Gita. There's also another similar story of Gita Panta, where he keeps on reading Bhagavad Gita. And this particular sloka, he always like Yoga Kshema Vahamya. So he was very poor and there was poverty in the house. And the wife every day used to scold him, what are you doing? And he says, see, Krishna says Yoga Kshema Vahamya. Krishna will maintain. Krishna will maintain. So the wife kept on complaining. So it says that one day she was so upset, she took a black chalk. And in one place it says she took a knife and she was cutting that sentence, Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. God, Krishna is not maintaining us. We are in poverty. And what is this given in Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshema Maham? No, he was not going to maintain. And so she scratched that. It says with a black chalk, she scratched. In some place it says with a knife. So later on, next day, two boys came, fair-skinned, one dark-skinned boys. And they came and they like, we are your husband's friend. He was not there at home and gave so many grocery items to the wife, saying that rice and dal and so many vegetables and everything. I said, you have to cook feast from today. Every day it will be supplied to you. So she's like, please come. Yeah, I'll cook and feed you all first. So one boy had a black mark on his face. And another place it is said, one boy, where she used the knife, they say that the boy had a cut in his tongue. So they didn't stay, they went back. And later on, when her husband came, he understood that it was the Lord himself who came. So Lord actually maintains. So Krishna is the one who actually maintains Yoga Kshema Vahamyam. So Krishna gives what they lack and Krishna preserves it. Ye api anya devata bhakta yajante Shraddhayanvita te api mam eva kaunteya yajanti abhidhi purvakam. So those who worship demigods are also worshipping Krishna, but in abhidhi purvakam, in the sense, those are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship Krishna or son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. They're doing it in a wrong way actually. Isn't they Anya Devata? So they are Avidhi Purvakam. They are actually Alpamedasa, they say, because the boss only can sanction your leave. Why do you have to go through another person to the boss? You can directly go to the boss, right? So why do it takes a lot of time to go through another person? You can directly approach the boss. Similarly, we can directly go to Krishna. Prabhupada gives 2 examples. Now, what are the 2 things? This is an important Bhakti Shastri question. What are the 2 things mentioned in the purport about this? Worshipping Krishna and the demigods? 2 analogies.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Suvina Mataji.
Like watering the leaves and branches,
Yes.
not watering the roots.
Yes. And what is the second one? That is first one. Neetu Mataji.
Mataji, feeding different parts of the body and not the stomach.
Yes. So 2 things Prabhupada mentions in the purport is, one is watering the root of the tree. So when a man pours water on the leaves and the branches without pouring water on the tree, he does so without sufficient knowledge. Similarly, process of rendering service to different part of the body is to supply food to the stomach. So demigods are also like officers or different part and parcel of Krishna. So if you serve Krishna, that's enough. All the demigods gets pleased. Aham hi sarva yajnana bhokta cha prabhureva cha tatumam abhijananti tatvena taschayanti te. So I'm only the enjoyer and master of all sacrifice. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Krishna says he is the only enjoyer. Bhokta. So those who don't know, they'll fall down. In the sense, what do you mean by fall down? Those who don't know about Krishna fall down. So what is this fall down mentioned? Yes. Avik Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hmm.
Those who
Yes.
doesn't know Krishna fall down into the lower species of life.
Yes.
Because they are committing sins every
Yes.
now and then.
Yeah. So they go down to hellish planets or might be like an animal planet. So that's what it is mentioned. Yanti deva vrita deva pidriyandi pitrivada bhudani yadi bhutecha yadi matyaji no piba. So Krishna says those who worship demigods go to their planet. Those who worship ancestors go to their planet. Those who worship ghosts and spirits go to their planet. And those who worship Krishna will live with Krishna. So that's correct. Prabhupada says you take the ticket to Kolkata, you can't go to Delhi. You have to go to Kolkata. Now, similarly, you worship demigods, you have to go to their planets. Sometimes they say, you say, Lord Shiva is Vaishnava and Amyadashambhu, who is the best among Vaishnavas. And Krishna says, Mat Bhaktya Puja Bhi Adhikam, that my devotees have to be worshipped. So what is wrong in worshipping Lord Shiva? Because Lord Shiva is best devotee of the Krishna. So you have to worship Lord Shiva, that's what they say. But there's a clause. I mean, you can respect him, you can worship him for getting Krishna Bhakti. But if you worship him, you go to Kailas. And then there is again Punarjanma. So this is the sloka which says that if you worship demigods, you go to demigods planet. So what is the problem in going to demigods planet? Again, Punarjanma. But go to Krishna's planet, Punarjanmana Vidyati. There's no more coming back. So 26 sloka, 26 to 34, we can finish this chapter today. So it says about glories of devotional service or Krishna Bhakti in detail. Okay, so much emphasis is given on 26 to 34. So many slokas can be memorized in this particular chapter. Very, very important slokas for your preaching and your personal application. The 9.26, this is actually a practical application of devotional service. Like Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Upadatam Asnami Prayadatmanaha. Right, 9th chapter, 26 sloka. Now this is not just theory. Where Krishna says, if you offer a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water in devotion and love, I will accept it. Krishna will accept. So it's not just theory. Oh, Krishna says, Patra Pushpa Phalam Tayo. No, it's had to be practically applied in our life. That's why when kids class, when we take this sloka, we tell them at least offer tulsi, leaf, any flower in your garden, fruit or water. And what? Or, it is or actually, but if you offer all the 4, no problem. Even to a photo, you can offer. You don't have deities in the house or room, you can offer in a photo also all this, no, with tulsi. So it's practical. This is a practical life manual, Bhagavad Gita. So this has to be practically applied in our life. Okay. So Krishna in this sloka, one word is repeated twice. Which is that word? It's Neetu Mataji.
Mataji, Bhakti is mentioned twice.
Yeah, Bhakti, right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam. So twice. That means Bhakti has to be there. Anybody offering anything, Krishna will not accept. Krishna will accept. Duryodhan was keeping ready a big feast for Krishna, but Krishna didn't go there. Instead, Krishna went to Vidra's wife and then had banana peel. So, and Kubja, even though it was bitten, the fruit, still Krishna accepted. Lord Ram accepted it. Even it was chipped rice, which is kind of moistened with the sweat of Sudama, still Krishna accepted. Because Krishna accepts with love and devotion. Gajendra gave a flower, Krishna accepted. Right? So, Krishna accepts the Bhakti, Bhavagrahi Janardana from here. So, here Lord Krishna having established, and what is the proof Krishna accepts? He says, Asnami. So, if you take word to word meaning, it says, Asnami, I accept it. So, Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphasis on Bhakti or devotional service. That's the only way to approach Krishna. Bhakti Amam Abhijanari. Here, Lord Krishna have established that he is only in joy and premier Lord and the real object of all sacrificial offering. Means what type of sacrifice he desired to be offered. So, if we have to engage in Krishna's loving service to achieve permanent bliss, eternal happiness. So, Bhakti is easy actually. The only qualification is we have to do pure devotional service. And no other qualification is required. So why Krishna says Toyam? Because water is available in every house. Even we say, I don't have much fruits, I don't have a garden, I don't have tulsi. Still you have water at home. So Krishna says even a poor man can worship Krishna, no matter where one is and what one is doing. So Bhakti, compared to other processes, is very simple and it's the highest perfectional stage offered. Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Okay? He doesn't want to see what you have offered. He sees the bhav with which we offered. So even a little flower or fruit or leaf and flower from a pure devotee, Krishna accepts. But no offering is accepted, however big it may be, from a non-devotee, because Lord is self-sufficient and he doesn't need anything. Prabhupada says Krishna is not hungry to eat from you. It's our mercy. It's our blessing that Krishna is giving the mercy. So Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse to declare emphasis on the Bhakti. And no other condition, being a Brahmana, rich man, scholar, philosopher, matters to Krishna. None of these conditions can induce the Lord to accept any offering. And Bhakti is never casual. It's an eternal process. Okay. So Prabhupada says that if one wish to engage in devotional service and get to be purified, then we should find out what Lord desires. See, in the purport, Prabhupada says, Krishna is not saying meat, fish, eggs to be offered. No. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Balam Toyam, which can be vegetables, grains, fruits, milk, whatever, all that. But why we have to offer? Because then all that become karma free. Okay. So if we want to have advancement in life and to be released from the clutches of material engagement, we have to engage ourselves in Krishna's service. And those who do not make an offering of their food, he says in the same verse, are eating only sin. In other words, every mouthful is simply deepening their involvement in the complexity of material nature. So there is a proper attitude while offering. So most of the time, we think we can have that. That's why we are offering. No, it's for Krishna's pleasure. So most important element in preparation, serving, and offering is love. Love has to be there. Who cannot comprehend this verse because they maintain that absolute truth is without senses, the impersonalists. The impersonalists say Krishna doesn't have a form, then why are you offering? Because if Krishna doesn't have a form, he doesn't have a mouth, he doesn't eat, then why are you offering it? It doesn't make sense. But for a that is for impersonalists. But a devotee, Krishna has senses. And Krishna doesn't have to eat like us. With his eyes, he can eat. Angani yasya sagale devrittiman, these senses are interchangeable. And lacking senses means Krishna is not full in all opulences. So his senses are interchangeable and can perform the function of each other. So Lord impregnates the material nature. Just by glance, Krishna can do creation. Why can't he just eat your offering with his eyes? So Krishna is hearing the devotee's words of love in offering foodstuff is wholly identical with his eating and usually tasting. Who can understand Krishna's accepting of offering? Only devotee who accept Krishna as he described himself in Bhagavad Gita without interpretation can understand the absolute truth, can eat food and enjoy it. Okay, so Krishna says Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Now, why do you offer vegetable biryani and dosa, whatever you, and why are you offering all that? Devika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Before we eat anything, we should offer to the God so that the killing of any living entities will not get papa from that, no, Mataji.
Yes, yes. So that's karma.
Yeah.
Okay, Avik Prabhu, karma free it becomes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
what Krishna has told is the minimum what we can offer. There is Bhaktam Pushpam Phalam Tam. But if somebody is rich, if somebody has opulence, he can offer
Yes.
everything to Krishna.
Yes. So this is for a poor person, the minimum offering. So if you
Minimum.
have it, yes, more than that, yes, we can offer. Yes, that's one way. Neetu Mataji.
Mataji is same. If we are capable of offering more, or if we can afford it, we should offer it.
Okay. So yeah, to purify the food, so the food become purified, and there is, as Mata said, there is sin. Even if it's vegetarian dish, vegetables also have life. So when you cut it, even that's also sin. But when you offer it to Krishna, it becomes sinless or karma free. Okay, that's one thing. But next sloka answers it. Krishna says patram pusham palam toyam. But in the next sloka, Krishna says, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, whatever sacrifice you do it for Krishna. That's why we offer everything. Whatever we eat and everything. Krishna says, Yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat juhoshi, tadasi, yat tapasyasya kaundeya, tat kurusha madarpanam, matarpanam. So Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat. So we want to eat 3 times a day, whatever we eat. And whatever we offer to give away, whatever austerities we perform, do that as an offering to me. Okay, most of the houses, it's not possible. Some non-devotees are at home, some eat non-veg, some are not cooking at home. That's okay. Whatever we can, you can keep dry fruits, some fruits, patram pushpam phalam toyam. But in a house where you can cook sattvic meals, you can offer. And not like in temple standard. In house, sometimes you offer once, twice, whatever, however you're cooking and all that. So we can just offer like that. But Krishna says that. Okay. So Krishna is saying that this is described as Ananya Bhakti, process of pure devotion. Those are not able to perform bhakti at that level. Krishna now describes the process of doing everything as an offering to Krishna. So Krishna says, whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we offer, give away, austerities, everything has to be done for Krishna. So we can even offer fruits of what we are already doing. So whatever fruits of our karma, that's nishkama karma, or one of these can be offered. So Prabhupada says it's the duty of everyone to mold our life in such a way that we do not forget Krishna in any circumstances. So when we eat Krishna Prasadam, what happens is purification happens. So Prabhupada was telling once, chanting is the medicine and Prasadam is the diet. Like for example, in Ayurveda medicine, you have an disease, they give a medicine and they say, these are the things to be followed in your diet. You can't have oily stuffs, you can't have fried things, and so many things he says. Now the Ayurveda doctors, you should not have this oil and ghee should be avoided. So many things he says that this is, then only the medicine will be so much of active. So similarly, the chanting is the medicine. We chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That's the medicine. And what's the diet is prasad. That means if chanting and prasadam is there together, then the advancement speedens up. So sometimes we feel, okay, me and that Mataji or Prabhuji came to Krishna consciousness in the correct time. But then that person is advanced and I'm stuck somewhere. Why? We have to check ourselves. Whether am I following the right diet? Like one Mataji used to chant 16 rounds, but she has tea coffee or she eats onion garlic. So she's not able to advance. So when you make them understand, yes, prasadam is so important in your devotional life, then you see the difference. Prasadam can do wonders. Prabhupada, this movement also spread because of prasadam. ISKCON is so famous for prasad. That's why we give, sometimes I feel like, why are we giving so much importance to prasadam? After all, we are not this body, we are spirit, soul. And we have to just maintain our body and soul together. Yeah? Why are we giving so much importance? Prasadam should be like that, should be like this. Then I understand that's the way to attract the crowd. That's the way to spread Krishna consciousness. At least through prasadam, let them get attracted to Krishna consciousness. Or it purifies them. There's so many of them. once he is one of the leading Maharaj in ISKCON now. So he was he was in IIT. So he went to ISKCON temple for the first time, and they had khichdi and all and came back. So they saw another big queue with feast. They had so much of items, gulab jamun and so many things. Another queue for public. It was just simple rice, dal, all that. So this Maharaj wanted to go to the other queue. Then he came to know it's for life members. You have the life member card. It's for them special prasadam, and for public another type. So just to, because they are donors, and just to encourage them, like some kind of extra facilities are given for life members. So this Maharaj, he was young with his friends. He squeezed into that queue. So first time he had, the second Sunday when he went, some boys identified, they are not life members. They're just students. They are not life members. So they stopped him and they took him to the president of the temple. So they're like 3-4 young boys. The president looked at him and he could see in future what this boy is going to be. Or the president was so merciful. The president's like, it's okay. Even if you're not life members, you want to have that special prasadam, have it in my care of. You can take my name and you can have. So this Maharaj kept on going to the ISKCON center just for that prasadam. And now he has dedicated his life. So he wanted to dedicate his life, and he went to his mother and said, I want to be a full-time brahmachari in ISKCON. So he prepared so much to tell his mother. He don't know how the mother is going to react. So the mother took it very casually and she said, that's okay. I have 4-5 boys. I mean, I have 6 sons. So 5 boys I have. They will earn nicely and take care of me. If I lose one son, it's not a problem. You go and join ISKCON. So Maharaj was so surprised by the reaction of his mother. That's all Krishna's arrangement. And now he's doing a great preaching in some part of the world, and he's very, very advanced devotee. So just by prasadam, how he was saying his consciousness changed to Krishna. So this is how the power of prasadam is. So prasadam can do wonders. So you don't have anybody Krishna conscious at your home, slowly start giving prasadam. Slowly mix it with their food. They should not even understand it's prasadam. And start making them fall in love with that prasadam, and then take them to ISKCON center nearby. Then get them engaged in some kind of Krishna conscious activities. You don't know, might be they'll become better devotee than you. So prasadam is so important, even in your workplace, wherever you are. And we have to eat only prasadam. Prabhupada says we are not vegetarians, we are prasadarians. Except for small situations and some very small circumstances, unavoidable circumstances, traveling, so many things. But maximum, they have prasadam, and it has to be done only for Krishna. Prabhupada says charity also should be given to Krishna. That means all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering Krishna conscious movement. Austerity. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to meditational process, which is not practiced in this stage. But if anyone wants to practice meditation, that means mantra meditation has to be done as chanting Hare Krishna. Surely going to be a greater meditator and greatest yogi. But we cannot imitate Haridas Thakur. Okay? Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesha madhyadenandaratmana shraddhavan bhajade yoma. We have to worship Krishna. Then we become the best yogi. So in 28, Krishna says, Shubha phaler eva moksha se karma bandhane sannyasa yoga yiktatma vimukto mam upashyasi. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on Krishna in the principle of renunciation, you'll be liberated and you go back to Krishna. So it's called Yukta, one who acts in Krishna consciousness. Yukta Vairagya, we know. Yukta Vairagya means using everything in Krishna's service. Anasaktasya Vishaya Yatarham Upeje, Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchade. Okay? So what should we do? We have to get freed from all the bondage, and then only we can attain Krishna. And Rupa Goswami says, Yukta Vairagam has to be done. Like laptop can be used in Krishna service, mobile can be used in Krishna service, everything. So action can be performed and the fruits can be given to Krishna. That's called Yukta Vairagam. And even like when you're cleaning, any process. So such things will help us to clean the mirror of our mind, and gradual progress will happen in spiritual realization. Then we have to completely surrender to Krishna, and finally liberation comes. Okay. And then Krishna says, I'm not partial to anyone. Samoham sarva bhudeshu name deshena sthina priya ye bhajanti tuma bhaktya mai teteshu chapiham. Samoham sarva bhudeshu. Krishna says, I'm friendly to everyone. Name dveshena sthina priya. I'm not I don't dislike anyone or like someone. I envy no one. I'm not partial to anyone. So many people say, no, Krishna is partial. Krishna himself declared, no, he is not partial. He is equal to everyone. But Krishna puts a condition there. Whoever renders service to me in devotion is a friend in me, and I'm also a friend to him. That means natural affection. So Prabhupada says this is natural, like how our parents can have natural love for their child. It's natural. What is there to differentiate? No, that's just extra love that's given to the devotees because devotees are completely dependent on Krishna. Krishna says that, and Prabhupada says in the perfect, Krishna is equal to everyone, and no one is his special friend, no one is his enemy. But he takes special interest in devotees who are engaged in devotional service. That is natural. Like an example is any man in the material world may be charitably disposed, but a special interest in our own child, no? Whoever it is, like so many places we've seen that their own child, that's normal, that's natural, Krishna says. But one may say, Lord says, all living entity are his children. Yes, therefore Krishna supplies everyone with generous supply of necessities. Like the clouds, they pour water on the earth, rock, land, water, everywhere, right? Krishna's mercy is like sunlight. Who gets the maximum sunlight? Somebody goes out and works for it. Somebody is hiding in the cave will not get that. So similarly, the mercy of Krishna is like that. It's equally for everyone. But those who deserve it, in the sense, those who are dependent on Krishna get special care. So because devotees are naturally dependent on Krishna, like the mother or father has two children, elder and younger. Younger one is totally dependent on the mother or father. The father gives extra care. That's normal. That's natural. We can't say Krishna is partial, right? But Krishna, yes, sometimes Krishna becomes extra careful or extra merciful to devotees who suffer more. Okay, so that's special mercy of Krishna. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the very phrase Krishna consciousness suggests that those who are in such consciousness are living transcendentalist. And Lord says here directly, they are in me. Naturally, as a result, Lord is also in them. There's a reciprocity. Right? So once one person, he was a billionaire. So he left everything to the family and came to join the temple. And his business, everything. So those days, ISKCON had a lot of problem in running. So Maharaj, many people had to work outside to pay the rent of the ISKCON temple. So much difficulties in printing books, so to building a temple, initial days. So this person left everything for the family and came. So somebody asked, well, how much you are giving to the temple? He says, no, monthly, my wife will send 200 rupees just for my maintenance. That's it. Rest everything, all my crores and billions of rupees I gave to the family. So Prabhupada smiled. Prabhupada accepted him. Prabhupada didn't expect anything. He took the hippies. What did the hippies have? Nothing. So Prabhupada took them. And Prabhupada later on said, then he left the temple. He could not continue. So Prabhupada said, then somebody asked, why did he leave? Prabhupada said, he gave only 200 rupees, no, for his maintenance, to Krishna. So Krishna also gave only 200 to him. In the sense, Krishna reciprocated in which he gave. So when you give everything to Krishna, Krishna gives everything to him. Sense. Like Bali Maharaj surrendered. We can't be that level. But still, whatever we give to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates in the same way. So this is what happens. So whoever surrenders to Krishna, proportionately, Krishna takes care of them. This transcendental reciprocation exists because of the Lord and his devotees are conscious. Lord and the living entities are eternally glittering. Give the example of a diamond and a gold ring. Okay, so this is the important Bhakti Shastri question. Okay, analogy, diamond on the gold ring. Okay, so diamond is the Lord, and then there is the gold around it. That's the living entity. The Lord is the diamond, so the living entity is the gold. So if there is a diamond on the gold ring, it looks so beautiful. Similarly, when the living entity in pure state, when they are associated with Krishna, then it becomes more beautiful. Okay, so Krishna reciprocates between personals and impersonals also. The living entities in pure states, they are devotees because they know Krishna as a form. The Supreme Lord becomes devotee of his devotees. Right? He becomes his devotee's devotee and he reciprocates. Okay. So in personal philosophy, there is no reciprocation because, see, you can't reciprocate with a stone. It has to be a living person to reciprocate. So Lord's partiality towards devotees is special mercy. Prabhupada explains. The example given is the Lord is like a desire tree, and whatever anybody wants, the desire tree supplies, Krishna supplies. But here his explanation is more complete. The Lord here is stated to be partial to his devotees. That's natural. Lord is reciprocating, right? It's not should not be considered to be under the law of karma. It belongs to a transcendental situation in which Lord and his devotees function. So devotional service to the Lord is not an activity of the material world, it's a spiritual world, which is completely bliss and knowledge predominates. So Lord reciprocates and should not be considered under the law of karma. It belongs to transcendental situation. The devotional service is not activity of this material world, it's a spiritual activity. So whatever we do, it's karma free when we do devotional service. And the 30 and 31 is together, the slokas. It says what happens to a devotee. Somebody falls down by doing during devotional service. Apiche suduracharo bhajantema nyabak sadureva samandavya samyak vyavasido. See, somebody commits an abominable action, but if he is engaged in devotional service, he should be considered saintly because he is fixed in termination. So, sadureva samandavya means what? He should be considered saintly. Somebody like doing devotional service and he falls down, okay, because he's not properly situated, he falls down, but he should be considered saintly. Like an example, can anybody gives example? Like somebody by doing devotional service and then some mistake happened that he fall down. Yes, any example?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Bharat Maharaj.
Yeah, Bharat Maharaj. So Bharat Maharaj was a pure devotee and then he got attached to the deer. That doesn't mean he's a bad devotee. No, we have to still consider him saintly. Yes, Sharan Prabhu says Ajamila, very good. Nice example. So Ajamila was also Ajamila was also like a devotee in his childhood. And then some kind of sinful activities he fell down. But Vishnu Dudas, they knew, Yamaraj, they knew that he was chanted Narayana. Yes. So they should be considered saintly. Jagai Madai were not devotees before. This is Apichet Sudharachar. These are people who were doing devotional service. Bharat Maharaj was doing devotional service. Achabala was doing it. Jagai Madai was not at all doing devotional service. They got special mercy of Krishna, Nityananda Prabhu. But yes, so this can happen. So on the way, they do some mistakes and they fall down, but still they should be considered saintly. That's what it is said. Okay. So devotees try his best not to disrupt his wholesome condition, knowing that perfection in his activities depend upon the progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. However, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some kind of act which may be taken as most abominable, socially or politically, but such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him. Okay, so Krishna purifies such people. So Krishna says, Sadhu Revasa Mantavya. Even if they do any most abominable thing, still they should be considered saint. And nobody should be considered as fall down. Mantavya means he should be considered. Sadharevasa mantavya. Okay. So, like sometimes there is an accidental fall down or abominable act of a devotee. Okay. This is like rabbit marks on a moon. So this again another Bhakti Shastri question. Very important question. Okay. Rabbit spots on the moon. Rabbit spots on the moon means you can see some spots on the moon. Right? The moon has spots. But does that interrupt the moonlight? No. Similarly, a devotee might have some kind of defects. We are not pure devotees. We are not from spiritual world. We all have this Kama, Krodha, Lopa, Moha, Mada, Matsara in different levels. So you can't say, oh, this person is a devotee. He should not or she should not do any mistakes. No. Mistakes will keep happening. We are all human. We are not perfect. If we are perfect, we won't be in this material world. So problems will keep happening. That will not affect his devotional service, like spots in the moon will not affect the moonlight, the diffusion of the moonlight. Okay. So in that perspective, only qualification of devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaging in devotional service. So Krishna says, no one should take advantage of this verse. We should not say that, oh, even if I commit mistakes and I chant Hare Krishna, I'll be considered saintly. No. That is the which offense to the holy name? Can you put in the chat? Committing sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy name. Which offense is that among the 10 offense? Yeah, Nama Parad, which offense? Not 8. Yeah, 7. So it's the 7th offense. Namnad Balad Yasyahi Papa Putti. So it's the 7th offense to the holy name. committing sinful activities on strength of chanting the holy names, one of the nama parad out of 10 offenses. Okay, so Prabhupada concludes that if one does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it's to be understood he is not a high devotee. So in the next sloka, he says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chandini gachati kaunteya pratjanihi name bhakta pranashati. That my devotee will never perish. Name bhakta pranashati, Krishna says. He quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. So son of Kunti declared it boldly that my devotees never perish. So Krishna's devotees will never perish. Krishna says that. So yeah, Krishna promises. But Krishna is saying Arjuna to declare it. Why? Kaunteya pratijani, Arjuna, you declare that my devotees will never perish. Why is Krishna doing this? He himself could have declared, no? Neetu Mataji.
Mataji, because sometimes Krishna break his promise, but Krishna will never break promise of his devotee. Like
Yes.
an example of Bhishma Dev, when he
Bhishma.
picked up the chariot, although he promised that he will not pick up any weapon.
Yes. So Krishna is Bhakta Valsala. So Krishna, even if he wants to break the promise, even that is one incident where Bhishma Dev was throwing arrows at Arjuna and Krishna jumped out of the chariot and he took the wheel. He became Chakrapani because of that. He broke his own promise. There is like one more place where Krishna broke this promise. Does anyone know? And tried to protect his devotee. Yes, Devika Mataji.
He protected Parikshit Maharaj when Ashwatthama has released the Brahmastra.
Yeah, very good. So even there, when Parikshit Maharaj released, when Ashwatthama released the Brahmastra to kill all the Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj, Krishna is not supposed to take the weapon. And Pandavas didn't have time to react. And Krishna at that time again, he took a Sudarshan Chakra just to destroy that Brahmastra. Very good. So here, Krishna broke his own promise, but Krishna never broke the promise of his devotee, or Krishna always tried to protect his devotees by breaking his own promise. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you declare. And there's one more place where Prahlad Maharaj said that Narasimhadev will come from this pillar. There were hundreds of pillars in that room. Narasimhadev came from that particular pillar to keep Prahlad Maharaj's words true. And to keep Brahmaji's words true, the Lord came in Keshav the Narahari Rupa, the half man, half lion form. Because Brahma has promised Hiranyakashipu, no animal or man can kill you. So he came as both half man, half lion. He said he will not be killed on day and night, and evening he killed him. Not with any weapon, he took his nails, which is not considered as a weapon. And not inside house, outside hurdles, it was in the corridor. And not on the sky or the earth, it was on his lap, which is neither earth or sky. So to keep Brahmaji's words true, the Narasimhadev appeared in that particular form. To keep Prahlad's words true, he came in that form. So to keep Bhishma Dev's words true, Krishna broke his own promise and took weapon to make Bhishma happy. Similarly, when Ashwatthama's Brahmastra also. So Krishna can go to any extent to break his own promise. So if Krishna says my devotees will never perish, he might break that promise. But Krishna will never break the promise of his devotee. That's why Krishna said, Arjuna, you declare. Yeah. So Krishna said, Arjuna, you declare my devotees will never perish. So devotional service is so good. That's like a cleansing process. And a devotee who's engaged in the 9 kind of devotional service is engaged in the process of cleaning all material contamination from the heart. So he puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all the sinful activities are washed away. Prabhupada says, Krishna is a gentleman. A gentleman will not live in a slummy place, no, where there is mud and all this, filthy area or very dirty area. No, the gentleman lives in a very nice residential area. So Prabhupada says, Krishna is the supreme gentleman. If he has to come to live in our heart, then our heart also should be completely purified. And that's possible by the 9 kind of devotional service. So in devotional service also, mistakes can happen, but we should not leave devotional service. We continue to be in this boat. Then what happens? We will reach the destination. So therefore, chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has to be done constantly. This will protect a devotee from all accidental fall down. So you'll have a there is a breakout room here, right? So did we discuss that analogy? Accidents can happen in the Royal Road of ISKCON. Does anyone remember? We discussed that.
Mataji, that is in the first module.
Module 1.
So we did that, no? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, so accident can happen. So here only it comes, like, see, so even in devotional service, accident can happen. So many kind of Maya can trick us in so many ways. But if we stay in the association of devotees, Prabhupada says here, power of devotional service and association. So what happens when we do association? Then it's like a strong boat. They will protect us. Okay, so we will not have a fall down. So Bharat Maharaj, if he had association, Bharat Maharaj would not have got so much attached to the deer or so much got lost in Maya. Ajamila, if Ajamila had some devotee with him in that forest when he saw the prostitute, somehow he would have saved, right? If devotee association was there. So devotee association is very, very important. And text 32 says, even unqualified class of people can get Krishna's mercy. Mahi Vartavya Vyapashrita Yepi Papa Yonina Shriya Vaishya Tata Shudra Tepi Yanti Paramgati. So he says, whoever takes shelter, okay, can get Krishna's mercy. So in Bhagavatam also there is a verse, Kirida Hunantara Pulinda Pulkesha. All these kind of people who are addicted to sinful activities, everyone can take shelter of Krishna because Krishna is the supreme power and he will give us all kind of protection. So devotional service and guidance of pure devotee is so strong. There is no discrimination between lower and higher classes of men. Anyone can take it. The most simple man taking shelter of pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. Okay. So Krishna will definitely protect, and one has taken complete shelter of Krishna can become greater than the great jnanis and yogis, and pure devotees can enable people of lower class to attain highest perfection. So Krishna will definitely protect. Him punadhamana punya bhakta rajashrayastata anityam asukam lokam imam prapya vajasava. How much more so of righteous Brahmana, the devotees of the saintly king, therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. So Krishna says, whatever it is, anityam asukam lokam. It's also said to Kale Mashashara. Anityam asukam. Yeah, anitya means it's not permanent. And asukam, it's always problem. So Prabhupada says in the material world, people are not happy here. Why? Because this is Dukhalya. And it's anityam asukam means not, the world is temporary, full of miseries. It's not habitable for any sense, sane gentlemen. So the world is declared as temporary and full of miseries. So, but the Mayavadis say, Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya, they say the world is false. But it's not false because Krishna created it. So Arjuna was born in a royal family. To him, also Krishna says, take to Krishna's devotional service and go back to Godhead. So Krishna will not advise like this to a non-devotee. Krishna will not show a way to go back to Krishna for a non-devotee. Only for a devotee, Krishna says this. So everyone should attach himself to the bosom of the Supreme Personality Godhead so he can be eternally happy. So devotional service of the Lord is the only process by which all the problems can be solved. And everyone should take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect. So this is the last sloka of this chapter. Very, very important sloka. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna has kept the 18 chapters. In that 19th chapter, middle, the last sloka, Krishna kept it very important. Why? Because that's the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That's the most confidential part of Bhagavad Gita, which says, so 4 things Krishna says. Manmana, always think of Krishna, engage in Krishna by chanting the holy name. Mat Bhakto, become Krishna's devotees, offer Paltram Pusham Palam Toya. Madhyaji, offer worship to Krishna. Arti and all. Mam Namaskuru, offer obeisance to Krishna. Then, if you engage in this way, being completely absorbed in Krishna, surely you will go back to Krishna. Krishna says, Mameva Shisitven Atmana Matparayana. The same sloka Krishna repeats in 18 chapter 65 slokas where Krishna says, Manmanabha Matbhakto Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mami Vaishisi Satyamte Pradijani Priyosime. Krishna says, because you're my dear friend and devotee, I promise you, Satyamte, Krishna is promising that you'll definitely go back to Krishna. But we have to do these 4 things. What is that? Engage our mind in always thinking of Krishna. Save Mana Krishna Padaravinda. Become Krishna's devotee. Offer obeisance to Krishna and worship Krishna. So engaging the mind means engaging our mind in the form of Krishna, chanting the holy name, to have a conviction that Krishna is supreme, engaging our body, mind, and activities in the 9 activities of devotional service, and such a devotee is transferred to Krishna Loka. So our mind should be attached to Krishna, but in this Kali Yuga, it's very difficult. But that's why chanting the holy name has to be done, because there's no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna has come in his holy name. Krishna is not an ordinary human, but an absolute. And Prabhupada writes, also there is no difference between Krishna, the Lord, between himself and his body. Okay. So one should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. And then what we have to learn from a bona fide spiritual master. We are learning from Prabhupada now. So real bhakti means one should think of Krishna as a person and cultivate knowledge about Krishna. And we have to learn from a bona fide spiritual master that Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. His body is Satchidananda Vigraha. And we are his eternal servants. So this is what Krishna said, Manmana bhav matbhakto matyaji mam namaskuru. See, so many times he used the word mam. Right? Me. It's not selfishness. It's not aham mamedi. It is the truth. And this is not gone for everyone. We are also fortunate to know the secret of how to go back to Krishna, because Krishna says this only to pure devotees. So I'll close soon. I had a travel, so I'm a little tired. Does anyone have any question to ask? So this is the 9th chapter. Yeah, open book, I think I have given the marks, right? Last week. So after 10th chapter, we'll have the second open book question for this module 2. So 9th chapter, please try to learn so many slokas, very important slokas. Ananyas Chintayanto Ma, that is Yogakshemam Hamyam, then Patram Pushpam Phalam Yat Karoshi Yadasnasi, this Manmana Bhavat Bhakta, all this is very important slokas. So please learn, try to learn. Yes, Kusamlada Mataji?
Mataji, so many times I have read sloka number 5 and 6 that in one ansh of Krishna,
Yeah.
the whole universe will be there.
Yes.
But he says, all the devotees are me, but I'm not in them. What is the meaning of that?
That means Krishna is aloof, Mataji, like all are in Krishna. That means
Yeah.
Krishna is in our heart as Paramatma, right? So Krishna is in our heart as Paramatma. And we all living entities are in Krishna, but Krishna is not attached to us. This super soul is a witness. That's it. So all being under me, I am not in them means Krishna is aloof. Krishna is not bound by 3 modes of material nature. He's not bound by our karma. We suffer, the soul suffer, Krishna doesn't suffer. He's aloof. Even though he's in our heart as Paramatma, Krishna doesn't undergo any kind of material sufferings which we do. Or Krishna is aloof from, or he's independent, swarat, like water on the lotus leaf, Patram Putram Bambasha. So that is meant by that Krishna is not. Yes, he is in our heart as Paramatma. Krishna is our saint giving father. All that is there. But Krishna is aloof from everything, like a high court judge, Mataji. So high court judge is in the court, but he's not in the court, in the sense he's not attached to any karma in that particular court. He's doing his duty just as for a duty, but he's not attached to what is happening, any party. He's not attached to this advocate or that advocate, like that. He's neutral. Oh, the attendance link is not submitted. Mataji, can you submit? Can you post?
Thank you, Mataji.
Attendance link. Aishwarya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, posting.
Yeah. I thought there's a breakout room. There is no breakout room. I thought there's... Okay, so here, Manmana Badmak Bhakta, Prabhupada gives a nice purport, so please read it. Very important. Savai Mana Krishna Padana Vindyo. That's what he says. Ambarish Maharaj used to do. And Rupa Goswami says, Yena Kena Prakarena Mana Krishna Nivishi. Somehow try to get your mind attached to Krishna. Okay. And that's possible by chanting the holy name. Chanting is the best way to get engaged in Krishna's service. And reading Krishna Prabhupada's books and associating with devotees will definitely help to fix our mind on Krishna. And even prasadam, actually. So that's why in initial days, nothing enters, no philosophy will enter in them. But just give prasadam, give harinam. Yes, Devika Mataji.
Mataji, this class attendance, you want to put it in the new folder?
Yes.
This is module 2, no, Mataji.
This is module
Other
2.
chart and all.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we have to. Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. So, any more questions or can we end? All of you mark the attendance. Any more doubts? Anything to add? Okay, so, go through the purports. Prabhupada has given very nice purport for this chapter. So many important slokas. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Kodi Vaishnavi ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.